G'day ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be reading some Disney Channel fanfiction. None of these stories are mine, by the way, and all of these are available on Wattpad, so I'll leave a link in the description if you wanted to check them out. I'll only do like a chapter or two at most. We don't have time to do the entire works, so you really should check these out in the description below if you want to see what happens next. Okay, so the first one that we have is To Adventure, The Sweet Life on Deck by Faith4546. Here's its description. The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on deck, but it's not the Disney Channel version. There's mature content written here, plus it's not ordinary fan fiction. The episodes you watched won't be changed in any way. This story will have its own storyline, more based off of what would happen in reality. The beginning of the story starts when everyone is 16, sophomores at 7 Seas High. No copyright intended. The cover is not my picture, it's from the internet, but I have no problem to change it. I only own the character Lola and her backstory. Once again, no copyright is intended. I just thought this would be fun to write. Okay, let's get started, shall we? Chapter 1. The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on Deck. Remember, I want your papers due Monday at the start of class, Ms. Tutwiler reminded the class as the bell rang, signaling class time was over. Zach and Cody headed to their cabins to get dressed for their jobs on the ship. Zach works on the sky deck at the juice bar, while Cody is the towel boy. While working, a girl he never saw before sat down before him. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Her outfit consists of white shorts and a black tank top. You can see her swimsuit underneath on her shoulder. "One strawberry smoothie, please," she told him. "One strawberry smoothie for a very special girl," he flirted. The girl just looked at him. "That's the best you could do?" she asked. He looked at her weirdly. "You didn't enjoy that?" he asked. She laughed, shaking her head. "Ha ha ha! No, smoothie boy. Considering you most likely flirt with all the pretty girls on this ship, I'm no one special," she said, giving him some money. She walked away from him. Cody watched the mysterious girl walk away from him, his eyes trailing up and down. He took that as a challenge, and he accepted it with great pride. "Hey, Cody," he called out to his brother, folding towels. "What do you want, Zach?" Cody asked, annoyed. "Did you see that girl?" Zach asked. "What girl?" Cody questioned. "The girl walking away with the strawberry smoothie," Zach replied, looking in the direction she walked away. "No, I didn't," Cody said. "You should have. I flirted with her and used my charm. She didn't fall for it, though," Zach told him. "She must be intelligent," Cody commented, smirking. "No need for big words. I need your help finding her," Zach insisted. "Look, as much as I don't want to help with that, I don't want to torture an innocent girl with the likes of you," Cody said, leaving to collect some dirty towels. Zach rolled his eyes at his brother. He went back to making smoothies, plotting a way to find this girl. Once Zach was off his shift, he was walking around in hope to find the girl from earlier. He entered the lobby and saw the girl talking to Mr. Mosby. He quickly hid behind a plant, watching the encounter. "Well, I must say, your transcripts are very impressive," Mr. Mosby said, looking at paperwork. The girl didn't say anything. "Well, I think you'll make an excellent student here, Miss Henley." He held out his hand for a handshake. She grinned, shaking his hand. "I have just the students to show you a school tour." He clapped his hands together. "Will Cody Martin and Bailey Pickett come to the lobby, please?" he asked into the intercom. "Bailey and Cody are top of their class," Mr. Mosby praised. Then a boy and a girl walked in, holding hands. "Bailey and Cody, this is Lola Henley. She's a new student here at 7 Seas High. I trust you will make her feel welcome. Give her a tour and show her where her new cabin will be," Mosby said. "Welcome, I'm Bailey and this is my boyfriend Cody." Bailey shook Lola's hand. Once she shook Cody's hand, she raised an eyebrow. "Don't you work at the juice bar?" she asked. "No, that's my twin brother, Zach," Cody told her. Lola didn't believe Cody till a sneeze was heard. "Zach, what are you doing in the plants? You're ruining them," Mosby claimed, upset. That's when she knew Cody wasn't lying. "Hiding from Woody," he lied. As Mosby yelled at Zach, Bailey and Cody took Lola on a tour of the ship. At the end of the tour, the three of them were laughing. Ha ha ha! Like they always knew each other. So Lola, there's a party on the sky deck tonight for the students. If you want, you can come and stop by. Bailey and I will be there. Cody invited Lola. Yeah, and we can introduce you to our friends, Bailey offered. Sounds fun. I wouldn't miss it, Lola agreed. Great, it starts at 8:30, Bailey told her. Lola nodded. Well, seems like your stuff is already here, Cody said, surprised, looking at her dorm. She felt uncomfortable. Lola, a voice screamed happily. London, she greeted. Cody and Bailey were confused on how they already knew each other. How do you two know each other? Bailey asked. We're cousins, London screamed happily. Can't you tell? London asked, which no normal person would be able to tell. Daddy is on wife 29. Met her at a family dinner in Paris, London recalled. Her stepmom is my mom's twin sister. My mom is a runaway, so my aunt took me in. That's why I was at the dinner, Lola admitted. The only reason I talked to her was because I had to tell her that her outfit was horrible. London smiled. Since then, I took her under my wing and bought her a new closet, London said. Lola rolled her eyes. Well, the party is in an hour, London. You should go get ready, Bailey told London worriedly. London freaked out and scurried off. Thanks for saving me, Lola thanked. No problem, I'm used to her. We've been roommates for over a year now, Bailey said. That certainly could not have been easy for you, Lola joked. The three laughed. Ha ha ha! Soon Cody walked Bailey back to her cabin, and Lola walked in hers. A party, she murmured. She took her 2 suitcases and laid them on the second bed in there. Lola didn't have a roommate, so it was an extra bunk. She unpacked her things and was all settled in. She turned on her laptop and checked her email. Raising an eyebrow at her inbox, boys from her hometown was begging for her attention. But she knew they didn't want her for her. Just for one thing she wouldn't give up. She shut her laptop and went to her closet. She had no idea how to dress for the party, so she chose a loose white dress that went right above her knees. Black small boots that went right to her ankles. Light makeup, almost natural. She let her hair cascade down to her waist. The natural curls were perfect. She didn't know it, though. Soon it was just past 8:30. She left her room, walking to the sky deck. There was a loud music and people dancing. At the juice bar, she saw Cody and Bailey talking to a guy with curly black hair. He was wearing a shirt with a design of a tux on it. He has black glasses on. Hey, you guys, Lola made her presence known. Hey, Lola, glad you made it. You look great, Bailey said, hugging her. Lola hugged back. Thanks, you both look great too, she said. Cody had a black button-up shirt with blue jeans. Bailey had a dress like Lola's, but it was purple, and she had black flats. Lola, this is our friend, Woody, Cody said. Woody, this is Lola. She's new, Bailey added. Nice to meet you, Lola grinned. Woody's jaw dropped. He couldn't speak. Are you okay? Lola asked after a minute. He looked worried and ran away. No, he isn't, Cody said. The three laughed. Ha ha ha! Take a seat, Bailey said, motioning to an empty seat next to her.
Take a seat, young Skywalker.
Lola sat down, smiling. The two girls and Cody talked about school on Monday, when another blonde-haired boy came up and dragged Cody away. Bailey and Lola looked up at each other, confused. I love this song, Bailey said. Let's dance, Lola said, standing up. Dance? Bailey asked, nervous. Yes, dance. That's like one of the main reasons to party, Lola laughed. Bailey almost shook her head, no, but somehow let herself be guided to the dance floor. It's easy, just do what comes naturally, Lola yelled over the music. Lola started to dance with her arms over her head like half of the students were doing. She looked graceful, if that was possible, like dancing was her second language. She swung her hips, and every guy not dancing was eyeing her. Bailey was self-conscious, but Lola spoke. Dance like no one is watching. If you act confident, no one can tell if it's fake or real, Lola added. Bailey somehow let go and started dancing too. At first you could tell she was tense and self-conscious because of the beauty next to her, but Lola made her mind at ease. Like there's no reason to be self-conscious. Meanwhile, Zach and Woody were watching Lola dance with Bailey, while Cody was trying to get their attention. "You know what? I give up," Cody said, turning around. He saw Bailey dancing with Lola on the dance floor. Even though he had to agree Lola was cute, she was only a particle compared to Bailey in his eyes. "Bailey?" he asked, walking over to confirm his eyes. The two girls stopped dancing and looked at him. Bailey looked nervous. "Dance with Bailey, Cody," Lola said, walking up to him. He shook his head. "I can't dance like you two can," he admitted. "I know you can," Lola encouraged. She led Cody in front of Bailey. "Get lost in the music. I also told Bailey to dance like no one's watching." Lola encouraged dancing again. Bailey started dancing and Cody slowly started getting into it. They might not be the best dancers, but they certainly had fun and enjoyed themselves. Lola wasn't even embarrassed to be dancing with them, so that added confidence to their dancing. After a few songs, the three sat at the table and ordered drinks. "Haven't danced free like that since kindergarten. It was exhilarating," Cody pants. Bailey agreed, giggling softly. Lola laughed. "Ha ha ha!" Soon their drinks came by and they were drinking their smoothies and talking more. "Dancing like that makes me miss my life before my aunt married. My friends and I would party every weekend," Lola admitted. "Sounds quite like an adventure," Cody said. "Everywhere I go is a new adventure. And I can't wait to be on this one with you guys." Lola raised her drink up. "I second that. To adventure," Cody said. Bailey agreed, smiling. The three raised their glasses and cheered. "To adventure," and then took a sip of their smoothies. And that, you have it, was the first story that we'll be looking at today. That was just the first chapter of that fan fiction. If you want to check out the rest, make sure to look in the description below. I think it was a nice story. The author definitely knew the characters well enough to write their personalities into their fan fiction, and I like that about it. And I'm not sure if this Lola character is the author, but regardless, they inserted a new character into their fan fiction flawlessly. Like, I didn't think too much about it. There were a few structural issues, some grammatic issues, but I won't be looking at that today. I just wanted to look at the pure content that was being presented in these fan fiction. Our next story is They Were Right, ... A Good Luck Charlie fanfic by GLC Forever 6. And that is with a number 4. The description for this reads, "The Duncans' lives have been taking some strange turning points lately. Unexpected and crazy incidents happen each day. None of them have a break from this. Relationship problems, crazy school trips, and that's just the beginning. Read on to find more." We shall read on. Okay, so first off we have this little introductory paragraph. It's just basically saying that this is the author's first story / fanfiction on Wattpad. So, let's see how well they did. Okay, Chapter 1, PJ Wrecks It All. Gabe's perspective. "I just came home from school with the best news ever. My 9th grade class is going for an end-of-year trip. I'm not always freakishly excited for stuff, but this was amazing. The teacher sent home this long form, but the only information I needed was in the first line. This year's end-of-year trip is taking place in Camp Lifetime. Okay, I know the name is cheesy, but it's still exciting. I'm finally going to go to camp. I skimmed through the form and found out we are going to be doing tons of fun activities there. I was ready for Mom to sign my form until she told me some horrible news. Teddy's class was also going. Yay. I snatched the form from her and saw that sentence. Why the heck would they pair up the youngest class in the school with the oldest? Why? I just gotta hope Teddy's not going. But things got worse when PJ walked into the room and he overheard Mom and I arguing. Gabe, you're going to camp? Good luck, cause it ain't gonna be good. What do you mean? I asked. He looked at Mom with a puzzled look on his face. A look we might always get from him. Mom, remember my 9th grade trip? Said PJ. At that moment I knew he was going to say something that would convince Mom that I shouldn't go. Now I have that stupid look on my face. What? Oh yes, the trip where your canoe tipped over? Asked Mom. Yeah, and the bee attack? Continued PJ. Just as he said that I thought they were making this stuff up. I guess they heard what I was thinking because PJ said, "Gabe, we're not making this stuff up." Right then he got out his laptop and showed me a terrible picture with him, with red dots all over his face and his arms and legs covered in bandages. I didn't know what to do, so I burst out laughing. Ha ha ha! Mom and PJ looked at me like I was an idiot, so I stopped laughing. "Hey, it won't be funny when it happens to you," said PJ. Mom was silent until she finally said something. "Gabe, I don't think you should go on this trip." "But Mom, it's gonna be fun." I seriously had nothing better in my head to say to her. "Gabe, I'm serious. The only other way I'll let you go is if Teddy will go." But she said she doesn't want to. I tried to interrupt her, but she stopped me. "No, stop it now. I don't care how much you'll bug me, but the answer is still no." She left the room with that. I was left in the living room with PJ. He had a smirk on his face. I filled up with anger. I swear if I was in a comic, there'd be steam coming out of my ears, and my eyes would be bursting with flames. Dang. I'm freaking mad at PJ now for bringing up this stupid experience. Angry face. Okay, so far so good. The story is building up a lot of intrigue towards this camping trip. I'm not quite certain if the characters are consistent with how they were portrayed in the show, but I haven't read more than that chapter yet. Okay, so the last story that we're going to be doing is The Sweet Life of Jessie, which the author indicates that they're currently rewriting. The author is Camo Lover 1012002. Okay, let's read the description. Jessie is really not Jessie. Her name is Bailey. She was going to Yale but dropped out. She changed her name to Jessie Prescott. Luke brings home a friend one day, and it was... Read to find out the rest. And read we shall. Chapter 1. Disclaimer. I don't own anything, only what doesn't seem like it's from the shows. So basically, anything that isn't from the shows, the author is saying that they own, but everything that does belong to the shows, the author says they don't own, which, you know, I'm sure we're all aware that this isn't canon. But it's still fun to see what creative stories that authors can tell with these fictional characters. In the shows, you only get to see so much, and you have a limited time to tell these stories. Sometimes I wish that we got to spend more time with the characters. You guys already know how much I loved Good Luck Charlie. And fanfiction is a good way to continue that adventure, or even write the story in your own style. Okay, on to the actual story. The first chapter is in Jessie's perspective. This might be a bit tough for me to read. The author did mention that they wrote this when they were a kid, so it's kind of understandable. I'll try to paraphrase it the best I can. Chapter 1. "Finally, I can get some rest," Jessie said. "Hey Jessie, get ready, I'm about to have a party," Luke said. "No, I finally get to have some rest and you're having people over? Come on, just give me 5 minutes." "It's just one person coming," Luke said. "Well, I guess it could be worse. I'll go have Bertram heat up some frozen dinners. That way we don't scare away your friend." "Okay, bye Jessie," Luke shouted as he walked to the door to go to school. Jessie goes over to Bertram, which I'm going to imagine that he's sitting on the couch or something. "Bertram, we are having Luke's friend over. Heat up some microwave dinners." "It's too far," Bertram said. "Fine, I'll do it," said Jessie. "We're home, Jessie," the kids exclaimed. "Okay, I heated up some frozen dinners, so don't worry, it's not Bertram's food." "That sounds just like Bailey, I think," Zach said. "Dude, who's Bailey? That's our nanny Jessie," Luke said. "Bailey is my brother's old girlfriend, and she looks just like Bailey." "Bailey? Is that you?" Zach said. "Yes, it is. I tried to hide my name so they would not find out I dropped out of Yale." "Is Cody here? I stopped calling him because he stopped calling me." "He's back at the hotel with our mom," Zach said. "Okay, you can tell him, or you don't have to tell him you found me. Okay?" That was a bit of a tough read, but I made it through. I think that the author can go really interesting ways with this. Even the show Jessie acknowledged the uncanny resemblance between Jessie and Bailey.
No, I am telling you, Cody, it's uncanny. She looks exactly like Bailey. You want to come see for yourself?
Okay, so are Jessie and Bailey the same person? Who knows? Disney Channel doesn't really care about its lore too much. But that's what the fans are for. I think fanfiction is a great way to continue an adventure when a show ends. Fanfiction is also a great way to tell your own stories with the characters and the world provided. On top of that, fanfiction allows you to hone your craft as a writer. I used to write fanfiction. Now I write my own stories. So, if any of the authors of these works see my video, here's my message to you. Keep on writing. Writing is a skill, and the only way that you can improve is if you keep doing it. Anyways, that's the end of the video. If you made it this far, then I give you my thanks. And here's an additional thanks if you're already subscribed. See what happens when you subscribe? You get twice as much thanks from me. Anyways, this week is the second to the last week of Disney Channel month. Next week I have an awesome video planned, and to give you a hint, it's going to end the same way that it started. So if you don't want to miss that video when it comes out, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. You know what to do next. Alright, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great day.